This is Smoking Out the Closet. Now, here are your hosts, Alex and Rayven Greer.
Hey, it's Rayven. I wanted to announce 2 new affiliate programs that Smoking Out the Closet is now a part of. First, I would like to announce a Pittsburgh local company, The Hemp Co., with 2 E's in The. They offer hemp-derived products including Delta 8 and Delta 9 gummies, vape cartridges, and pre-rolls, HHC vape cartridges, and sustainably used devices and products. All products are made with hemp bioplastic for all your cannabis device needs, and every product is third-party lab tested, DEA certified, and Farm Bill compliant. If you're looking to visit them in person, you can visit them at 20280 Route 19, Number 3, Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania, 16066, or online at theehempco.com. Be sure to use SOTC20 at checkout for 20% off on us. And we're also wildly excited about our partnership with Blazy Susan. They offer their iconic Blazy Susan rolling tray, as well as papers and cones in unbleached hemp, their famous pink, and their brand new purple colors. Follow our affiliate link in the show notes and use Blazy10, BLAZY10, for 10% off on checkout. Now, on with the episode. Hi, I'm Rayven. I use she, her pronouns.
Hi, I'm Asmodeus. I use they, them pronouns.
Welcome back to another episode of
Smoking Out the Closet.
For those of you who are new or just joining us, we are a queer podcast, pun intended. We talk about the cannabis, LGBTQIA plus community, and everything in beyond it. Everything in between and beyond. Oh boy.
So welcome.
Haven't done our podcast intro in a long time. Oh no, my notes.
It's only been a week, but it feels like longer.
No, but I haven't actually done the actual proper bit.
Oh yeah, because we had a special guest.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Oh yeah. Wow, it has been a minute.
So this episode is going to be pretty loose because we just took a big trip to Ohio.
Oh.
And boy, it's a nice place to visit. I definitely don't want to live there.
Yeah, I don't think I want to live there.
So we were out because our partner Mia, who we had on the show, or Luna La Creme, was participating in the Midwest Burlesque Fest.
Midwest Nerdlesque Festival.
Thank you.
Try to say that 3 times fast.
I can't even say it once, apparently.
And yes, that joke was made at the festival.
But
it's a 3-day span of nerdy burlesque shows.
And it's really cool and very queer.
Oh my gosh, yes. There was like one straight person in that room. Didn't we figure out the first night?
Yes.
The straight person that slipped in.
The token straight. But I mean, I like burlesque. It's a fun event. And it's kind of funny that, like, out of the people who are preserving burlesque, it is the LGBTQIA plus community.
Yeah.
Like, one of the one night's headliner was a trans man burlesque performer, and that was really cool.
Fell in love. There were so many great performers that past weekend. Oh my goodness. Moxie Villain from Pittsburgh traveled out too. That was cool to see him out there.
Again,
yeah. Gosh, there's just so I'm like looking at the Pokemon poster and I'm thinking like that we had there were two Animal Crossing acts. There was a Mario Kart act for a nerdy burlesque troupe. Who else?
Laura Olympus.
Yeah.
There was a duo.
There was a Necronomicron set.
Cthulhu. Yeah,
Cthulhu.
It's kind of hard to kind of narrow down which part of the arcane horror specifics that performance was in. Lovecraftian horror.
There was an Edgar Allan Poe to Queen, which was freaking amazing. And
Bohemian Rhapsody specifically.
Freaking out. I have a shirt that says, "I'm just a po' boy from a Poe family, like Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah,
it's the Raven
I remember
and
sure.
Edgar. I still have that somewhere, and I want to either make it fit again because I bought it when I was very small in high school, or like hang it up somehow,
or turn it into a back patch for your jacket.
Yeah, but oh my gosh, Satan was there.
Oh yeah, the
and Hades.
Yeah, specifically Disney's Hades.
Yes,
which is really great. Someone was the Xenomorph from Alien.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Someone I can't remember. She was the famous duelist, French duelist who was like super by icon. I can't remember her name right now.
Yeah, her name eludes me as well.
Who basically freed a nun from I don't know, like whatever the church nunnery or something like that, and then burned it down.
Yeah, like disguised herself, went into this nunnery, fell in love with a nun, and rescued her, and then burnt the whole nunnery to the ground.
And then
convent, that's what they're called. Convent.
Yeah, convent. Thank you.
Nunnery.
And it's funny because like the one person in the audience who knew how to pronounce the name properly flew in from France and did Other Mother as a performance.
Oh my god!
The moment I saw the hand and what she was doing with the hand, I was like, "Oh my gosh, is this Other Mother?"
Oh, I lost my shit.
That was an awesome performance.
Oh my god! Yes.
Mia did Link, which was
we rule 40, 34, 30. 34?
Yeah, rule 34.
34. I dyslexic. 34 or 43 because 42 is meaning the university and everything. But yeah, we rule 34 the fuck out of that weekend. Everything was on the table.
Oh yeah. Trying to think what else was there performance wise. Moxie did their Dorian Gray performance.
The alien. I can't remember what they're called.
Oh yeah. One person did the hand, the guy with the hand eyeballs in his hand from Pan's Labyrinth. That was really cool.
Yes. Speaking of Labyrinth, Moxie dressed up as David Bowie's character.
And regular Labyrinth, not Pan's
Labyrinth, not Pan's Labyrinth. But still, Labyrinth, I thought that was still cool.
It was a really cool show. I really liked it. Someone was Rogue from X-Men. Oh.
Yeah. There were also theme nights for people attending.
Yeah.
So the performers and everybody else would dress up in themes. And like Sunday was pajama day because we had a brunch with mimosas.
Which I had my first mimosa.
So good.
Yeah.
I like them. It's a very light drink. You can lightly drink with those and then go about your day and be productive.
Mm-hmm. I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which was cool. Oh my
god, that was so much fun. I think I had 69 pictures I posted from that that section on my Facebook.
Post any of my pictures. I want to throw them on our podcast after the episode.
Did post about the stickers though.
Yes, I did post about a sticker. That
was from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
So a lot of like what I would consider part of the cannabis culture and everything. Like you saw Bob Marley's hat.
Yes.
There was a huge multi-level exhibit on the Beatles.
Oh god, if you follow me on any of the things I have posted about it, it's now my Facebook picture.
We got to see like stuff from like Frank Zappa, Reserve, some very old like jazz and blues performers, some old like kind of like the melting pot of what becomes rock and roll and how rock and roll became a thing between like blues, jazz, soul,
the history,
country and swing, and kind of how it came through. And they called Elvis out on getting famous for covering
they did. They had a TV playing.
Oh, was it Big Mama Thornton?
Mm-hmm. There was a TV playing in the Elvis exhibit that was, hey, here's this song, and then look, Elvis with this song, this like pulling and just.
But then there was also people saying like he wasn't just copying or imitating, but he actually had the soul in it too, which kind of skyrocketed him. But like not anyone knows about Thornton as much because of Elvis.
Yeah, because
he did a cover of her song Chemdawg and got famous for it. There's a lot of cool pieces there, and you got to see like one of the cool things I got to see was Kurt Cobain's drill guitar and it like has all the pieces left of it that it gets ground.
I got to see the handwritten lyrics to Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Oh, that was a cool
and I
one.
freaked out.
One that's really cool for me, we actually got to see. So I'm a huge Linkin Park fan, obviously the emo girl in the room. And you actually got to see Mike Shinoda's sketches for some of the music videos that he made for the Hybrid Theory.
That was super cool.
I think it was Hybrid Theory, but like it was still really cool. And like you actually got to see like some of his like art, and I'm like, oh.
It was funny because I was like, Depeche Mode has a fucking
the thing got
section.
cleared out.
Where is it? And we later learned from somebody who was talking because somebody asked.
There.
Yeah, someone who worked there, and we overheard the conversation. Depeche Mode is now touring, which I'm trying to get tickets to. And they wanted their stuff back for their tour. And they're like, when we're done touring, we'll give it back to you. Because this is our first time since, like, what? Probably 90... I believe it was 99 when Violation came out. And they haven't had an album since then. They're coming out with an album, and that's why they're touring.
Yeah.
Which was interesting, because they started to tour before they even dropped the single from that album. It was just a fun thing I had noticed about them. But yeah, they were just like, hey, bring it back, which I was like, in the back of my head, this is weird to say, and I don't know if this is a skeptic in me. Sometimes when I go to museums and I'm like, is this real? And then that was just that, yeah, that's real. That's at least that stuff is.
Yeah, because you could say it's gifted from the actual band or like this, or like the association for like some of John Lennon's stuff.
Yeah, it
was actually donated by like the certain foundation that had his stuff originally.
But like whenever you go into art like museums, that some of those aren't those original pieces.
Oh yeah, because like some of them are either restored or they're fronting because the piece is so priceless that they can't have it just out there.
There were a couple exhibits missing while we were there, and I can't remember exactly what they were, but there were some empty spots.
Some of the Beatles stuff was missing. Some of John Lennon's I noticed was missing.
Interesting.
That's probably just because he just had a tour not too long ago and probably taking some time to get back. But yeah, we got to see Jimi Hendrix stuff, like his guitars and everything. And I think it was funny because I was talking about when I saw his guitars, how he took right-handed guitars and tuned them to be left-handed.
And we were standing beside the guitars, and then that's
the plaque. And then when I'm looking at the plaque, I'm like, man, I thought I was being cool and sharing a guitar fact.
I mean, hey, it was cool because we got to talk about this stuff as we were walking through too, and like being there with Mia and like knowing that their background is, with all of the different costuming and watching them look at all of the different like embroidery and like they were pointing things out to me. Yeah, and as a maker like myself, and I was like, wow, some of these are hand crocheted like pieces they would wear on stage.
Mick Jagger had one of his. I think it was Mick Jagger. It was definitely in the Rolling Stones exhibit, but there was like one that was like crocheted and everything. You were like, oh my gosh, that's crocheted.
Gorgeous. Like, and I felt so bad because the collar had gotten probably caught on a necklace or something and it came apart. And I'm like, I could fix that. I could. And I was like, no, because that's like,
that's the history in
so
it.
Authentic. But yeah, I was also in awe of like all of the outfits and things. It was amazing. But
there was actually a part two when we were going through like the different bands from different major cities and everything, also through time. There was one that we were talking about having quote unquote jazz cigarettes because it was like the 1930s. I think they were having some of the stuff. It was like I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. There's a movie. The guy who plays Loki played him in the movie. It's how the yodeling kid became famous. It's that song.
Okay.
Not
quite sure if I know what you're talking about.
You know the song the yodeling kid sang in Walmart, right?
I think yes.
There was a kind of early like country rock at the time song. He sang, and it was like around his area. They were talking about that. I just can't remember his name. The initials are BH. I know that. I'm not gonna look it up. It's not that important. But yeah, it was a really cool time.
It was so much fun.
I got to play guitar in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame
We got our picture taken out front of the Another Brick in the Wall exhibit with
big,
that was, dude, the psychedelic dude hanging over the wall.
Which I think is from the original set of that tour.
Which was fucking cool. You know how cool it would be? You saw, like, concert tickets, though. And those were just some Joe Schmo was like, hey, I have this concert ticket that's really old. Or they posted a picture about something, and they might have reached out and said, hey, can we have that and have it on display in our museum?
Who was the one that was like, they had a ticket from like 2014, and it was like a really old...
It was a Ticketmaster ticket stub.
Yeah, from 2014.
You know, I can't remember.
You know what? I know this.
Was it you two?
No. Chuck Berry.
Okay.
It was Chuck Berry's exhibit because we saw like soda cans and everything from it. Because I was like, what's his name? I'm thinking in the back of my head, Johnny B. Good's starting to play. I'm like, hang on.
I'm so jealous. Those freaking Hendrix tickets were so fucking cool looking.
Oh, so was Janis Joplin's
Jesus
tickets.
Christ, the artwork on that is gorgeous.
Speaking of stoners, Janis Joplin.
Yeah. The artwork on those freaking tickets. And hell, I don't care. Those old weird Ticketmaster ticket stubs, I would take those because I just want to keep it as something to like, hey, I was here.
Yeah.
Right? You could print your fucking Ticketmaster stub, and it doesn't look nearly as cool.
No, like,
when I went to Welcome to Night Vale,
they used to have like screen printing services make their old tickets and everything.
Yeah, and it was just so cool because,
or at least those came with the tickets.
That would be your like quote merch from that.
Yeah. We should do something like that. I mean, we've been thinking about a live show. I should make like little things. Oh, speaking of that, Buds is coming back.
Yeah.
To our online pictures. I'm just gonna start making Buds pictures around Pittsburgh and everything.
QR codes. There were QR codes.
Oh, yeah.
This is what prompted this outside of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, even way before that, we would talk about that.
Yeah, but also this is what I was talking about though. Like outside the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, there was a QR code on the pole, and I scanned it, and it was for a podcast. I was like, we needed to get QR code stickers. And that's what we were talking, because like downtown Pittsburgh, you'll see them too. And like, I don't know. As someone who wants to know what that's about, like if I just see a random fucking QR code with no explanation, of course I'm going to scan it.
There was a store that had a QR code that said, don't scan this.
I was like,
I saw it around here.
I'm going to do it. You tell me not to. And I want to even more.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just, as a curious person. I did that with one of our Spotify stickers. I just slapped it on the fucking Sheets Pump number 7 on Steubenville.
And then one of our coworkers found it. I was like, you vandalized. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
It's fun vandalization. Listen, it's only vandalization if you get caught.
True. Oh, we also went to the Melt, not sponsored. The Melt in Ohio. For those of you who don't know, this is a grilled cheese restaurant. That's all they do. They make grilled cheese. But it's not just grilled cheese.
No, they have different grilled sandwiches.
Yeah, they're all essentially grilled cheese with extra steps.
Exactly.
Because like I had a Melt Reuben is what they called it on their menu, which they had Swiss, like it's basically grilled cheese with stuff in the middle.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just grilled cheese with stuff in the middle. They have an Elvis one.
Yeah, it was like peanut butter and jelly and bananas, and there was like a preserve thing going on in there. And
that was the preserve was the jelly.
The jelly.
Because they actually used preserves, what Elvis used.
And they grill it.
Yeah.
And it's served warm.
And it was like a smoked Gouda or something.
Oh, yeah, some sort of like sweeter cheese to it. And then what I had was the buffalo chicken, vegan buffalo chicken.
Yes, because they have a vegan and a gluten-free menu.
Which was gorgeous because I could just tear into that fucking sandwich. Their vegan cheese was so good.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that weird slimy consistency it sometimes gets. And those chicken tenders were great.
The French onion soup, the vegan French onion soup that Mia had was so good. I could not, if you gave me a blind taste test between that soup's cheese and a regular cheese, I could not tell you the difference. And I want to know where they get their vegan cheese from.
It's so freaking good. There was...
You want to talk about your monster?
Wait. But first, while we're still talking about the Melt, the vegan ranch was really good. Very dilly. And we debated putting it in our pocket for later for our Rally's French fries. Because that would have been so good. We had Rally's?
Yeah. I haven't had Rally's in years since I moved out to Pennsylvania.
It was so good. I just had like a Riley burger and large fry and something else. Mia and I split an extra large fry.
You guys split a fry, and you got like a 2 for $6 burger thing.
Yeah.
And then I got it was like $4.99 or something like that, like chicken nugget box with fries and a drink.
Oh, that was really good. It's cheap and it's good.
Mm-hmm. Best fast food French fries out there.
Absolutely, hands down.
I worked for Arby's, and it's way better than Arby's, just on the seasoning alone.
Mm-hmm. But my monster that I am terrified of. So I had saw this in passing on, of course, TikTok a while ago, and I was just like, this looks like a bad idea. And then I kind of forgot about it. And then we stumbled upon this gas station when we were in Ohio because we were trying to find something.
We were getting drinks, wasting time on the first night because we had to drop Mia off early, and there was like 2 hours between us dropping them off for their tech stuff.
Yeah, for their tech time, and then for whenever doors
opened. Yeah.
So we went and got Pizza Hut. But I think we were navigating like back to the hotel from the venue and saw this gas station. We were like, well, we're hungry. We're trying to find food. And then we got drinks there and then got food.
Yeah. So you end up finding
the hard monster that I had just seen in passing on TikTok. I was like, my God, this seems like a bad idea. I don't know if I want to do this. And then later I'm like, you know what? I missed the Four Loko that was killing kids in Colorado that had the caffeine in it.
The high levels of caffeine.
Yeah, this, I don't know. I'm going to have to read it. I'm scared of it, though.
It is only 6% alcohol, though. That's the thing. Four Locos had a very high
alcohol and high caffeine. This probably has high caffeine and low alcohol.
For what it looks like.
I'm just, the worst thing that's going to happen is I'll get a little bit of a buzz and I'm going to be awake.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I took a picture of it.
It's literally going to be less harmful than Red Bull and
vodka.
I was going to say like a Jaeger bomb.
Jaeger bomb, yeah. Because you're not ever really supposed to mix alcohol and caffeine.
Yeah.
And that's what scares me. But also, I was terrified to do mushrooms, and that turned out fine. So here we are.
I mean, but also think about it this way, though. It's another one of those cancers. Alcohol is legal, and we do this crap. Like, why can't we do it with weed? Because I will say, wake and bake sessions, coffee and cannabis.
Absolutely. Can I say something that kind of scared me a little bit also?
What's up?
The person at the register, when I bought it, I flashed to my ID, and he's like, is this alcohol?
Yeah, they like don't even know.
They don't know what they're selling out there in Ohio, because it does look just like the monster.
Also, though, think about it this way. They sell hard liquor in gas stations out there, I think.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember seeing hard liquor. Did I see hard liquor? I know won. I know beer. I know things that I think...
They had that pink lemonade vodka.
Yes, they did.
That was at Circle K.
Yes, that's right. That's what I was mixing up, because you said that.
Mm-hmm.
That would only be sold in the wine and spirits.
Yeah, wine and spirit stores here. Because I think it's anything above 9% has to be sold in a liquor store in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Because you can have hard seltzers, beers, shit like that. IPAs even, they only go to probably about 9 to 10%.
Yeah.
9.5 is usually where you top out with maybe a lager or something really heavy. But then after that, when you get to the hard liquors and shit, PA is like, no, we gotta control that. Ohio does not give a singular fuck.
Also, they sell booze on Sundays.
Yeah, and I didn't get carded for buying a nicotine product, and I don't think there was tax on it. It was from what it seems like, it's Ohio's like a couple other states. It's just a straight 6% tax, but they tax everything. But that was just one solid price, for that Elf bar. The price that was on the box is what I paid. I didn't get a receipt, so I didn't get to see, but it was $20 flat.
Oh,
excuse me.
I think that's pre-tax probably. They just added the tax into it.
Yeah.
Or it's like the cannabis industry here in Pennsylvania.
So they just do that with tobacco.
It's taxed during the sell and process and everything, but the tax isn't sent to the consumer.
The cigarettes out there were cheaper. It was $5.96 for a pack of Marlboro.
A lot of things were cheaper. Cigarettes, gas.
Fucking, I was at a quarter of a tank of gas, and I filled up for $30.52.
Yeah.
gas was $3.25 a gallon out there, and I come back here and it's 50 cents more expensive. It's $3.75 now.
Which is funny because it was like $3.56 when we left.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the heck, BA? What happened? I introduced you guys to, as I'm drinking more of it now, my current Dr. Pepper obsession, the strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper.
As we stopped at Giant Eagle and they were 2 for $4.
It's so good. I love this.
It is really good.
And you know what? Smoking. Dude, we need to talk about the strain.
No, we didn't talk about the strain.
Let's talk about the strain.
Let's talk about the strain.
Because this is really good on this.
It really is. Okay, so 24 minutes into the episode, we are smoking on 7 Hills Purple Chemdawg. This has 28% THCA, 0.14% CBG. The top 3 terps are going to be... God, there's a glare. Sorry, the window's open. Or the blind, not the window. Myrcene, 0.389%. You got limonene at 0.253%, and then humulene at 0.121%. Everything else is under 0.1%.
This place I'm not super snackish on it.
I'm not either.
Humulene's doing its job.
It's really nice. I like it. I would give it a 4.2 out of 5.
I think this is your first 4.2.
Is it?
Yeah.
I really like this. It doesn't do a whole lot for my anxiety, but it does enough for just my general mood that I'm just like, I'm worried about it for a minute and everything's okay, and then I'm just gonna enjoy myself. Also, this was selling really well at my dispensary.
But that's a high THCA content.
But it's a good strain.
It is. I felt like it was missing something. And I don't know what it was. Really resiny. Great for a press. If you have a press setup, I would really use this strain.
It didn't feel like it was going to break my grinder, though, which is good.
Yeah.
Because that Girl Scout cookies I had from Kind Tree the other day, I thought it was going to break my backwards grinder. That was rough.
Getting a decent high. I was very giggly on it and everything for a minute. Like, very goofy. But I don't know. I feel like great flavor, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it is missing something.
Can I note the weird thing that happened? So when we were smoking, now mind you, we were screaming for 3 days straight at a burlesque festival. We had a little bit of mucus and shit build up in our throat. Yeah. Because, we were screaming at a festival.
For 3 days.
But it loosened a lot of that up and I feel better now. Also, I'm on still trying to, my allergies and shit are picking up a little bit because stuff's trying to bloom, even though it's still snowing outside. But I don't know. It didn't really have a lot of pinene in it, so I'm not quite sure. There's 0.035 pinene.
Is that osmine?
Osmine. No.
Well, it's probably just, us heating up our throats.
Yeah, there's 0.379 caryophyllene. I think I forgot to say that earlier. 0.379 caryophyllene. Caryophyllene, however you want to say it.
As it were.
But yeah, no, I really like this. And also, makes me feel good.
Oh, I'm glad. I mean, I agree with you on all of that. It's just, I feel like it's missing something very greatly, and I don't know what it is. I don't have a word for it right now. It's still going to be certified SLAPZ, even with my score. 3.8 out of 5. And I don't know what it's missing. And so, I feel bad because I'm like, what reason do I have to justify that? I don't really have a reason. I can't
I can't the way you feel.
Yeah, true. I can't verbally explain it.
Yeah.
It's just missing something, but what it's missing is very strong.
Well, maybe whenever we try another strain down the line and you experience that. But that is what was missing from, that's whatever we had, however many episodes ago it was.
True. If I ever remember.
Or whatever we titled this episode. Yeah, if you remember. If not, that's okay.
Well, we still have a second. Anchor changed. So we've been using and hosting through Anchor since our inception. Well, Anchor was originally bought out when we started by Spotify. Now it's no longer Anchor. It is Spotify for podcasters. I don't know if it's going to change anything. It doesn't seem like it's changing anything on recordings and stuff, but it looks like they added new interactive methods for y'all. Excuse me. So just keep an eye out. There's probably going to be some changes throughout the rest of the year and everything, that you might be able to do more interactively with us.
Which that'd be cool.
But we're also hitting that time. I just want to add that real quick before I forgot. But we will be back after a quick message from our affiliates.
Hey there, it's Alex from Smoking Out the Closet. We've been so glad to be able to make this podcast for you. And we now have some partners who are happy to help make this podcast happen as well. Our friends over at Da Vinci Vapors have sent us one of their many amazing products, the IQC Dry Herb Vaporizer. If you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you've heard us talk about Da Vinci, and we've even used the IQC on the show. With a half-gram dry herb chamber, 30-second heat-up time, precision temperature control, removable and rechargeable 18650 battery, and an on-time of 2 hours, what's not to love about the Da Vinci IQC? Well, what if we told you can get an extra 15% off just for listening to this podcast? That's right. Use the code SOTC15 for 15% off at checkout site-wide. Thanks again to our friends over at Da Vinci Vapors. And now, back to the episode.
And we are back.
Alrighty. So, I had something that I wanted to talk about that I had sent you. Was there a... Oh, yep, there's the date on this. What day is today? Okay, so as of recording, it is the 13th of March. This article is written on the March 9th.
Yeah.
On the March 9th.
On March 9th.
On March 9th. Jeez.
So it's been about, 4 days?
Yeah. And it appeared in the Pittsburgh State paper. Pitt students petition the university to cancel transphobic speaker events. Of course, when I saw this on my Google News, I had to click on it. More than 2,500 people have signed a petition, including myself, circulated by students at the University of Pittsburgh, objecting to an upcoming events featuring speakers who, quote, advance a platform of hate and transphobia. The petition argues that the planned events are against the values of the university's stated commitment to diversity and inclusion. Two of the events named in the petition are organized by the Pitt chapter of Turning Point USA, a right-wing youth group. An event called, quote, Save Women's Sports will feature Riley Gaines, a swimmer who advocates for the exclusion of trans women from women's sports. The petition claims the event is scheduled for the first day of Pitt's Pride Week, which... And
to put into kind of context, Gaines is the swimmer who has been swearing up and down and trying to get the trans swimmer out of sports and everything because they tied for fifth. They tied for fifth in the national competition.
How much is a sore loser?
They tied for fifth. And she's mad that she tied with a trans woman for fifth, even though I can't remember the actual swimmer's name off the top of my head right now. But she wasn't even like, oh, Gaines has been saying like, oh, she was winning before she transitioned and everything, and I'm like, no, not really. She won like 2 or 3 major races. She's never won a championship or anything like that, I don't think. But like, you could also see her when she started taking hormone therapy go down in the rankings, and then when she officially transitioned and started joining the women's league, also kind of had to work her way up from the bottom. And again, she's mad that she tied for 5th place. And then she backed by like other like major like internet anti-transphobes online.
Yeah. The article goes on to say that inviting Gaines to speak on campus, quote, pushes the narrative that trans women are not women, invalidates their existence, and threatens their safety, quote, according to the position. The other event that is on the petition is for the O'Hara Student Center, is planned by an outside organization, and the Intercollegiate Studies Institute, and is billed as a, quote, debate on transgenderism and womanhood, end quote. Headlining this event is Michael Knowles, a conservative activist who has recently called for the eradication of transgender people from public life.
I wanted to talk about him. So Michael recently at CPAC, which is the big GOP conservative meeting thing, is basically saying like people are trying to cancel him because he said I did not call for the genocide of trans people, but had literally said we need to. Trigger warning here. I want to say big trigger warning before I continue. We need to, quoting him, we need to eradicate transgenderism at the basis and everywhere. And because he's basically saying if we can let adults transition, they're going to let kids transition. If we can let kids transition, they're going to let adults transition more. And it's this whole bullshit here. That's part of the reason why they don't want him there either. Because she's backed by Knowles. And Knowles literally was like, oh, I'm talking about the debate of the ideology. There is no ideology. It is literally transgender people. It's the same question that was brought up during the freaking 1930s in Germany. When that happened with the Sex Science Institute. That happens with people, the Jewish faith. They were saying the same one of the questions. Fucking bullshit. End of rant. Sorry.
The fact that Pitt University even has let these people be on their fucking agenda, to me, is disgusting.
But it falls into a lot of the shit of why Penn State let people like this on there. It's backed by a student organization. The student organization is funding it. And it becomes a whole free speech debate thing. That's where the issue lies, and that's where they're kind of like taking their hands away from the situation. But this is where they're failing too. Because it's not free speech. There is a thing where you're not allowed to do hate speech. You're not allowed to cite violence.
And that's what these people do.
Yes, exactly what they're doing. Like, and that it comes in a thing of like, there's no 100% total free speech because you're allowed to have free speech and the government's not allowed to do anything to you to stifle that. Does not mean there is not consequences for that hate.
Yeah. If you say something that is going to make someone upset, don't be surprised when they punch you in the face.
Exactly.
Kind of a thing.
But the thing is, the school does take federal funding. And because it is a public university, which I don't even get if it's a public university, why do we have to pay into it? But that's another conversation. But because it takes federal funding and everything, they can't really step in because then they get to the point where they're acting as the government for reprimanding them for their free speech, quote unquote. It's a big headache.
I think also, though, and correct me if I'm wrong, as a, quote, public college, should you not follow the, guidance of, like, not attacking protected minorities and communities? If you were a private university, that would be a different story.
True, but here's the thing. They have to, and from what I've seen from the article you sent me, they are setting up everything to have people have the space to counter protest. They're giving them the space to have actions. They're giving also space so there are people who are basically stopping any violence from either side to happen. The thing I'm more concerned about is you're going to have the Proud Boys there. Because anytime Knowles has a speech, he's one of those people that the Proud Boys do follow. And that's going to be a big concern of mine.
Hopefully, it doesn't get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, yeah, maybe this isn't a great idea. Because Pittsburgh, as a city, I know, tries to protect people like us.
Oh, yeah. No, Pittsburgh takes care of their own. And that's the thing that, like, I feel like the local, even law enforcement, are going to basically be like, and the campus police are just be like, you're not a student, get the fuck out of here, kind of thing. Like, I don't even think they're going to let, like, us be part of the protests against it if we wanted to.
Just because if you let one person that doesn't go to that university,
mm-hmm.
you let everybody else, and then who's going to be there, worst case scenario, and then shit's going to hit the fan.
Exactly. Like, it's definitely going to be one of those things at this current time. It's going to be very heavily guarded. We have to keep an eye out which side the police are going to be more protecting of, though. So that's going to speak volumes.
Yeah. The article basically goes in to say what we have just said, reiterating a lot of what this petition says. We will put the article in the show notes. Even if we have to, we'll go through the article, pull out the petition, throw that in the show notes by itself, so you can just click on that. Please go sign it. I did.
I did too.
And yeah, this article pretty much just sums up what we said, what the students who started this petition have to say. And I just really hope that this doesn't get out of hand.
Yeah, me too.
And also that the University of Pittsburgh does the right thing.
I don't have high hopes just because of what Penn State fucking did. Because this Turning Point is a student organization that is fun. Like Turning Point is the group sponsoring this, but it's literally the young Republicans on campus, like their club or thing that they usually have. But it's the young Republicans at Penn State and the students for Turning Point or something like that. They're also at Pitt. And so I feel like it's going to be another mirror of what happened then. But then you also get like those people who are like holding up those signs at like conventions saying like everyone's going to go to hell and everything. And you realize they're just a lawyer team trying to get hit so they can sue people into oblivion. I feel like a bunch of those assholes are going to be there too.
Yeah.
Also, the quote, what kind of like stance we take. There are people who are out there to say, well, if you punch a Nazi, you're no better than them. Here's my philosophy. I don't need to be better than a Nazi. I need Nazis to be dead.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fuck fascists.
Yes.
Speaking of but going back to Frank Zappa and everything, there was a thing at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame about him talking about censorship. There was also a thing saying to him about during Ronald Reagan, same speech. It was just not playing at that point there, but I saw it on TikTok this morning. That the Reagan administration has basically made it a pipeline to America becoming fascist. This is Frank Zappa in the 80s talking about this. Look where we are now. It's sad. It's fucking sad. There is also a poem I want to read.
Oh.
By Martin Niemöller. Called First They Came. And I feel like this is very important to have now in context. First they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out for I am not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I am not Jewish. And then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. It's a big poem, and it's a reason why you and me kind of speak up whenever a group says something. Because just because they're targeting one group does not mean they're not going to turn around and target the next group. And it's another reason why I hate Blair White, who's a trans Republican, or what the fuck her name is, ran over somebody. Caitlyn Jenner. What? She did.
I'm so sorry. Every time that gets brought up, all I think of is South Park.
But honestly. Fucking Ollie London. And then also LGB without the T, those orgs. Your whole little performance acceptance thing that you're doing, so you're favorable in the eyes of the Republican, does not mean they won't turn on you.
Yeah.
Like they did with the log cabin Republicans. Because they're bringing back a lot of shit lately.
You know, I think this is why I like adult animation so much.
Oh, yeah, because it calls out shit like this.
Social commentary.
It is. That's why I like
know, log cabin Republicans, I think about that bit from American Dad.
Exactly.
Because that's what it is.
It is, yes. And like that's honestly why I like animation and comedy so much, because comedians. I mean, hell, you love it. Fucking last week tonight with John Oliver.
Yeah, he is how I prefer to get my news.
He's a comedian.
Yeah.
George Carlin was a comedian, and like the times of Plato and the ancient Greeks, the comedians are the ones speaking the truth.
Mm-hmm.
It's all a shit show lately. But we do have cats with us, so
Yes.
it's not as bad.
Our baby boys. We missed them on our trip.
Mm-hmm.
They missed us. They were so mad. Every time we went to walk towards the door, they're like, no, yell, meow, meow.
You're not leaving again. You were gone for 3 days.
Please stay. You have my boy and I have your boy.
Yeah. Oh, in other news, I'm actually not going to be putting the Patreon ad at the end of the episode on for a while, because I'm going to be doing some rework to our Patreon. I decided, and with Azzy also your input on it, we're actually going to open up our... Stop eating my haircut. This breath stinks.
I know.
We're going to open up our Discord to the public. Obviously I have to get like the link and everything from us. It will probably be in the show notes.
I think we should do something like the Satanic Temple does to get into their Discord, have a form you have to fill out.
You know what? That'll
just
do.
to keep the riffraff out.
Yeah, to keep it like, and actually, because I also want to keep it 18 plus.
Poor Riff's never allowed inside. Sleeps in the doghouse. You get that joke. You're the real Rocky fans.
But I definitely wanted to like have something like that, because we should definitely keep this 18 plus.
Mm-hmm.
As much as like I want to educate the youth and everything about harm reduction and everything. And why'd I say the youth? Like I'm an old 6-year-old.
Yeah, how old are you?
But like, minors.
Yeah.
As much as I want to teach them to make this basically be like a long educational harm reduction service, we have the podcast for it. Even though we do set it 18 plus, and legally I do not want, legally I don't think minors should be listening to our podcast.
Yeah, because we talk about cannabis, and if you're not over 18, you're not allowed to consume cannabis under any sort of law.
Unless you're medical and you have to have a legal guardian to pick it up for you.
Very specific certain situations.
But I do think it should be really good information for minors as well, along with their parents, because at the end of the day, it's medicine. Mm-hmm. And the more you know about your medicine, the less harm can come from it in any way. Mm-hmm. Whether it's cannabis, whether it's pharmaceuticals. But yeah, I also think just because to make things a little easier and less of a headache, we're just going to keep it 18 plus, and you have to be vented through a form or something. I will make that form public once we get everything up and running. Mm-hmm. But can I talk about what it's called?
Yeah.
So I think it's called the Skittle Zone, because of our listeners are the Skittles, and we have our rainbow Skittles, and then we have our Skittles of the week, which we haven't been doing a whole lot lately, just because of everything that's been going on. But yeah, there's just the whole. I think it's called the Skittle Zone, just because of I like to call our followers our rainbow Skittles, because it works on 2 levels, because that's also a strain name.
Yeah.
Is there anything you wanted to add else?
Yes, a giant eagle today when we went to go pick up your estrogen. That and butter and some what else?
We had toilet paper. So we ended up getting my estrogen medication, Italian dressing so I can make a marinade for the chicken tonight, toilet paper, and dairy-free butter.
Yeah. But we were over in the butter, and this lady comes over, and she asks, kind of just generally, probably more towards you because you're taller than me.
Yeah.
To the both of us, because I was also taller than her, and I'm 5'5", so keep that in mind. She's like, I need to ask you a really big favor. There's something over here. Can you come and get it for me? I can't reach it. And I was like, oh, yes, of course. And she told us, like, how, her husband, she's a widow, but her husband was 6'4", and he could reach everything. And he was even taller than you. And I was just like, no.
I will also say she was getting like the kefir.
Like kefir, was it like a milk?
It's a yogurt drink.
A yogurt drink, yeah.
Oh, that stuff's good.
She was like, give me all of it that's up there, please.
Specific flavor.
I can't reach. It's in the back. Just give me all that's rest. I got like 3 of them down, and I said, okay, Ravens needs to take the rest of them.
Because a friend of mine from high school used to drink those, and they're very delicious. Like, it's kind of like a little more thicker than like the yogurt milk drinks you can get in like the Asian markets.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of like an American version of that almost, and it's really good too. Like, I like both of them. But if you want something that's a little more creamier, less watery, get that brand.
Okay.
I don't even know if they're like an American version of it, but it feels like they're an American market.
If there's a lactose-free version of it, that'd be great.
Huh?
If there's a lactose-free version, that'd be great.
Well, I'm sure there is.
He looks so mad right now. But then he looks at you and he looks so happy. He was just looking at me like, grr. Maybe he's mad at me.
Maybe. I
don't know.
Oh, can we talk about smoking?
Oh my god, the panic attack. Panic. Oh my god. Do you want to talk about it or do you want me to die?
Okay, so
we'll both talk about
it. So, because we couldn't get any medicine in Ohio because Ohio is a non-recipiency, is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
State, we couldn't get our medicine in Ohio. Couldn't get weed in Ohio. I don't know anyone in Ohio who supplies, and the way everything is with the water in Ohio right now, I don't trust it.
Yeah.
But why are you giggling?
Because of my cat, the way you're holding him.
But so what ended up happening was we ended up pre-rolling a bunch of stuff and heading over. So we're smoking in your car.
Yeah.
And on one of the nights,
we were in the public transit parking lot,
which we've been staying for, to go see the judge. We'll park there, go walk to watch the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, huh! And you're like, what? I look over. There's cops sitting right in front of us
at the red light,
and we're sitting in the car. They look over us, and they just keep talking about their conversation and then drive off.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
but the lady who tried to ask us for a cigarette, and I was like, that's fucking. Better cop did no. Don't fucking look at me. Don't talk to me.
Go away.
Please go away.
Yeah, that was an interesting night.
Oh Lord,
that was interesting.
Fuck. And then we came back, and I was like, oh, the car's still there. There's no ticket on it. The windows aren't broken. It's fine. It's fine.
It's all fine.
It was okay. We're still good. But yeah.
But
oh, I'm so sorry.
You're good. But yeah, that was very interesting. But yeah, like, I felt really much like a stereotypical stoner at one point because we got Pizza Hut and we had some leftovers. And so I'm literally sitting there with a box of Pizza Hut in my lap, eating the last 2 slices of pizza.
Joints going around the car.
Going around the car. I have a freaking Dr. Pepper, strawberries, and cream I'm drinking. So I'm literally just sitting there. No, it was my mango, Arizona. And I'm literally just sitting there drinking mango Arizona, eating a pizza, smoking a joint, eating a pizza, drinking mango, smoking a joint, eating more pizzas, drinking some mango.
The when we had rallies, or was it McDonald's? I can't remember. One of the both of the times we were sitting in the car, eating food, smoking a joint. Like, I made an exception to my rule about smoking in my car because it's weed. But I also found this air ozone-y stuff that my coworker had.
Yeah.
That he sprayed in his car, and it works really well. And I think the only reason my car still smells like weed is because our ashtray's in there.
Yeah.
Which our ashtray was a repurposed My Tree container that I threw wax cubes in. So when it gets hot, it'll smell good in my car. Well, we put a little water in there and put our joints out on the wax.
And it smells good.
Oh, yeah.
It's helping. But yeah, also, before I left, a lot of my coworkers introduced me to the dumb way. I want to say dumb. Way that cannabis is sold in Ohio. So I'm actually going to look up Rise, Ohio.
Yeah, we went past the Rise.
The specific one in Lakewood, I'm going to use them as a reference. So they don't sell 8s or quarters. They do have edibles, which kind of pisses me off. Is this the right one? Yeah, this is liquid. So, okay. So, they don't sell eighths. They sell 2.83 grams of flour.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
No.
2.83 grams.
That's so
It
fucking
looks like they sell 14 grams or half ounces.
Yeah.
But then I'm just trying to look at their menu and see what all forms they have and like what size. Because it's so confusing. But yeah, but they don't sell eighths. Oh, so it's literally just 2.3 grams, 14 grams, 28 grams, and 8.49 grams. So they go from 2.83 to 8.5 almost, and then 14 and then half ounce.
That makes no
That
fucking
makes
sense. Ohio.
no sense. But you know why it makes no sense.
Because it's run by Big Pharma.
Yes, it is run by the Pharmaceutical Board in Ohio.
Which is also bullshit.
So it has to do something with conversion rates and how things are measured. So it is literally just based on some kind of math somewhere, conversion rate something, and they sell 2.83 grams and then 8.5 grams. It's not an industry standard of
3.5, 7,
an eighth, a quarter,
a half ounce,
a
full ounce,
or a quarter ounce.
A quarter ounce, yeah.
Wait, no, an eighth, a quarter, a half,
and then a full ounce.
Full ounce, yeah. They do like 3/5, or no, they do like 3/8, and then 2/5, and then 14 grams, and then a half. So, and then they do a half and a full gram. But they sell full ounces in one box. Unlike, PA, where you have to get like a box with a bunch of little eighths or quarters in it, or you have to do like a bundle. No, they just have one jar.
That's just so fucking
It's just so stupid.
So why this is like the fucking metric and the fucking
You're talking about Imperial?
Yes, thank you. I can never remember the other one.
The American method, even though it never originated from America.
It's Big Pharma and industry standard.
Yeah.
Because they had to be special.
Also, Ohio, answer me a question. Why is your flag a pennant? Why is it not a full square, but a friggin' pennant? That makes no sense.
No.
Gotta be the weird state, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Friggin'.
You met people from there, right?
Not really.
Well, I have.
You've
met one, and you wanted to kill him.
You're right. No, I've had a couple friends from Ohio, now that I remember.
I know like one decent person from Ohio. And if she's listening, she knows who she is. But she's about the only. I worked with her at Spirit, and she's about the only. That group was okay, but they also worked for Spencer's, so like that's different.
But like it doesn't make. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense at Ohio, and it's a cool place to visit. Definitely want to go see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame
again.
Definitely want to see Lake Erie again. You and me.
If we go up to Niagara Falls up there, if we just keep going.
I think that's Lake Superior though, isn't it?
I think so, but listen, if we keep going, we need to go to the Hard Rock Cafe up at Niagara Falls.
Why don't we just go to the Hard Rock Cafe that's here in Pittsburgh?
Why don't we? Yeah, you're
money's a thing.
I didn't pay the last time I was there, so I have no point of reference for how expensive it is.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Lake Ontario.
Ontario.
I don't know why I can't. So we saw in Ohio Lake Erie, and then you have what you went to for Niagara Falls is Lake Ontario. Mm-hmm. And then I've seen Lake Michigan from two different angles, and then that's it. I've only seen two. Michigan. Two of the Great Lakes. But yeah, you guys, it was the first time you've ever seen water from the horizon and just see the waves popping up and down on that.
It's not the first time I've been to the ocean.
Or was it Mia's? I can't remember. I don't know. You two were just freaking out over that.
No, we were freaking out because we don't usually get out to see shit that's flat. Mia has lived in Pittsburgh most of their life, and I was in central Pennsylvania most of my life. So we don't get to see things that aren't mountains usually.
True.
Unless we go somewhere else.
So I misconstrued that, and I'm sorry.
That's what that was. You, on the other hand, grew up down there for a while and can see that all the time.
Yeah, I grew up in
I'm
Virginia.
not used to just, oh my god, I can see until I just can't fucking see anymore.
Oh, it's really cool, though, because like we could see a fishing boat on the horizon fishing and everything, and there was a crap ton of seagulls.
Oh, frick. There were so many seagulls.
Looks like we're hitting that point now.
Yeah.
Well, once again, my name is Rayven. I use she, her pronouns.
I'm Asmodeus. I use they, them pronouns.
And this has been another episode of
Smoking Out the Closet.